at any point, and I know that you went through this in your memoir, but what was the point where like this wasn't fun anymore? Or has it ever been a time where it's just like, was there ever a be careful for what you ask or wish for a moment for you?
Right.
I don't. For me, Will and App, I'm only speaking for us because I can't say anything of the ladies that journeyed with us because
Right.
maybe they had the same experience.
Right.
But man, I love being on that stage with my brothers, bro. Like that's like our livelihood. When we're on stage, we're 17-year-old kids that just love performing and love, creating music and performing for the world. So there's never a moment other than that moment when we took a break. That shit was bullshit, bro. That's like suicide. That 8-year
really?
break, that 8-year break from 2011 to 2019 when we put out Ritmo with J Balvin, when Sylvia Rhone signed us, and we went from Interscope to Sony, and then we had success with Sylvia Rhone and reinvented ourselves as a trio, which that's how we started. But that time period of being away for 8 years, yes, I got cancer in 2014, but man, we were very lucky to come out of that 8-year hiatus, because usually groups are gone for 8 years, they're gone. There's no way you could come back. Did we come back at a feeling level? No.
So how's that conversation happen? Are you guys actively communicating with each other and saying like, hey, need a break, need to have some me time, we'll reconvene in a year?
Right. No, it was it wasn't a choice that me, Will, and Apple had. I'm just being honest with you guys. That's the reality. We would have kept going. We're at the height of our career. Why stop? But I get it. Not all of us wanted to continue. And so that being said, when it came back to coming back to wanting to do music again, this is after I battled cancer.
Right.
I reached out to Will. I reached out to Apple. I reached out to Ferg. I said, "Yo, I'm ready. I need this to rejuvenate my life. I need my healing, performing. Black Eyed Peas. We need to do it again." Will and Apple were like, "Let's go," and that's what it is. Me, Will, and Apple are going, and that's how it's going to be. And fortunately, at that time, Apple the App met a singer from the Philippines named J. Ray Soul. Right. And she was a young artist that inspired him to be able to bring her to the U.S. and give her an opportunity to be able to journey with the Black Eyed Peas and just be part of this amazing new, I guess you can say, this new lease on life. Because like I said, we were on Interscope, and then we got dropped, and then we got picked up by Sylvia Rhone. Huh?
Explain to me the process of getting dropped by Interscope when you're literally one of their biggest money makers.
Well, Jimmy was gone, bro. Like Jimmy was now Beats World. He's like, I don't have anything to do with Interscope.
So who took over Interscope?
John Janik and Steve Berman.
Berman? Oh, yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So
I believe Berman is the cat. If you remember the Dre Day video,
he's playing
when he's playing the role of Jerry Heller. I didn't realize, like, wow, Berman took over Interscope. Okay.
Yeah. So we put out Master of the Sun, and they're like, this ain't it. This is not what we want from Black Eyed Peas. And so that album was great, but not to them.
That's my favorite one. Yeah.
So in their eyes, it was a failure. It wasn't what they expected. And so they're like, you know what? We're going to part ways. I think we've exhausted all the energy, the years. Thank you for all your contribution, but we're not going to renew the contract. So Will.
How's that make you feel?
We're like, yo, what are we going to do? And like Will always does, Will's like, don't worry about it, guys. We're going to figure it out. So I trust him. Since I was 17, he's always been the, don't worry about it, guys. We're going to figure it out. And that energy was like, yeah, we are going to figure it out. It's all good. We got songs. Right. We got, relationships. So we had this song called Ritmo that we recorded with J Balvin.
Right.
So I remember Zeke from Sony comes to the studio and he hears it. And he's like, yo, I'm working on this soundtrack. would love this song to be part of the soundtrack. And so Will's like, yeah, but we want this for us. Like, we want this to be a Black Eyed Peas joint off of our new project. He's like, well, what label are you on? He's like, we're not on the label. So he leaves the studio, calls Sylvia Rhone. Sylvia Rhone shows up to the studio. Will plays the record for her, and she's like, great, I love this record. Let's put it on the Bad Boys 3 soundtrack with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith before the slap. And so he does that. Zeke is like, yo, this is the future of Black Eyed Peas, this whole Latin Afrobeat fusion, whatever you guys are doing with this frequency, it's international and it's popping right now. We're gonna sign Black Eyed Peas to Sony, to Epic. So we get signed. We create this album, which was Translation, which we put out during the pandemic. We still put out a record. We had songs like Girl Like Me with Shakira. We had Mamacita with Ozuna. Viva Loca with Nicky Jam and Tyga. So all these records just represented where we were at in that state of our career and how we were inspired by these Latin Afrobeat rhythms that were happening around the world. And so that was kind of our nod to that. And then we created another record, which we put out called Elevation. And that one featured Don't You Worry with Shakira and David Guetta. And then we did a record with Anita from Brazil and El Alfa. And the next record we're dropping is with Daddy Yankee.